CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. A reassurance today from the provincial government. St. Thomas will get a new high school replacing Arthur Voden Secondary when it shuts down for good at the end of this school year. However, there's still no timeline for that process. As Rita Ismail reports, many are reflecting on generations of memories ahead of an uncertain transition.
Arthur Voden Secondary School has been a fixture in St. Thomas since 1926. But at the end of this school year, it will shut down for good.
That third floor classroom was the first classroom I ever taught in.
For Marilyn Campbell, who began teaching here in 1969, the news is deeply personal.
It was the golden era for teaching, for being a student here, for being a sports fan. We had wonderful teams. We had wonderful kids.
The closure comes as the province moves ahead with funding for a new secondary school in the city, the first new build for the board in more than 2 decades.
The Thames Valley District School Board is receiving funding for a replacement secondary school in St. Thomas. I'm particularly excited about that. Arthur Voden, well-renowned school, is going to be replaced, and we'll be able to repurpose that school for supportive housing and many cool projects to help support the local growing community of St. Thomas.
But for many, the announcement is bittersweet. Former student Isabel Nethercott says the timing is especially difficult.
We're absolutely heartbroken about that decision. You know, it wasn't a big surprise. We were anticipating it, but we were hoping that it wouldn't happen this year. And we're just devastated.
The Thames Valley District School Board says the decision follows a comprehensive safety review, adding the building would require costly long-term repairs that are no longer sustainable. Parents are also concerned about what comes next, including Stacy Ron, whose daughter is currently enrolled.
She will have to be transitioned to a new school, and she doesn't do transitions all that well, so it will be challenging.
Campbell says the loss will be felt for generations.
It just seems that it would always be here.
Families are expected to be contacted by early May with details on where students will attend school starting in September 2026. Rita Ismail, CTV News.
Meanwhile, the education minister says the government is considering a complete ban on cell phones in schools, as well as restricting access to social media. Siobhan Morris reports.
They're omnipresent, away from school, on the way to class, and inside, even with rules against them.
They're used far too much. The kids are staring at them constantly.
Students are very, very smart and very capable, but our ability to focus has gone down collectively.
That short attention span, violence, and bullying helped along by phones are on the education minister's radar.
Cell phone use in our schools, elementary and our secondary schools, anywhere on site, has become a problem, so we are considering an outright ban of cell phones on school properties.
Right now, Ontario kids up to grade 6 have to keep phones silent and out of sight during class. Older kids can use them in the classroom when a teacher allows it. The opposition leader likes the idea of keeping phones locked up, but isn't sure keeping them out of the building will work.
Having that cell phone is a connection for parents to keep an eye on their kids and where they're at. And a lot of children, particularly here in the GTA, travel long distances to get to school or have other responsibilities like siblings.
On the street, reactions are mixed.
Don't ban totally because it's a modern society. People need to connect with people.
I didn't grow up with a cell phone, so it's good to kind of focus on the learning, get people engaged in school and not distracted by phones and social media.
I think high schoolers should be able to do whatever they want. I think if you're teaching someone to go into the world, you have to teach them to have accountability for their own actions.
Over the weekend, Manitoba's premier announced plans to ban social media and AI chatbots for kids under 16.
And I think here in Ontario, we have to actually do something about that. But, you know, it comes from actually looking at the problem and trying to understand it.
Educators say that means lots of dialogue, including with students. Without it,
you're setting teachers and parents and students up for more conflict because the underlying causes are not being dealt with.
Ontario's education minister says he's watching what Manitoba's doing and that he's working with the federal government, which is considering nationwide restrictions for young people accessing social media. At Queen's Park, Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Officials with the Old South Business Association are calling for more help, airing frustrations with the latest phase of bus rapid transit construction along Wellington Road. With more on their concerns, here's Brian Bicknell.
It's been dubbed the Wellington Gateway, part of London's bus rapid transit project. But for some business owners, it's the highway to heartache when it comes to the potential impact on their bottom lines.
So it's all directions. So it's killing local businesses' walk-in traffic.
Forest of Flowers Vice President Kelly Kalis says her store is part of a growing number of businesses voicing concerns about phase 2 of rapid transit construction. Divided into parts A and B, work is now underway on reconstruction of Wellington between Watson and Wilkins, running straight through busy Commissioners Road.
So I think they'll still be able to get into our plaza, but it's going to take a lot longer to get in and a lot longer to get out. And if you're in a rush and you're trying to just stop for something quick, why would you choose a business in the middle of this?
You got to get on this now before they actually start ripping up the roads.
The president of the Old South Business Association says he's hoping mistakes won't be repeated from previous BRT construction loops.
We need to have really good access points, like proper entrances and exits, really clear signage, and we need to have real-time updates.
The complete Wellington Gateway project runs from downtown in the north side to Highway 401 in the south. The 6-kilometer stretch will widen Wellington Road, allowing for continuous rapid transit. In a statement to CTV News, the city said in part it's connecting directly with local businesses to provide advance notice about changes, road impacts, and to coordinate operational considerations like deliveries and customer access. Ward Councillor Skylar Frank says disruption in the short term will pay off in the long run.
We'll see the best frequency and reliability on our bus infrastructure along Wellington once the construction is done. So every 5 to 10 minutes, there'll be a bus coming up and down. I actually think businesses who are smart enough to invest in that area will see a higher return because there'll be more foot traffic, there'll be more people.
Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
Hundreds of local researchers gathered on the Western University campus today, demonstrating the city's range of innovation and exploration. With more on London Health Research Day, here's Jerry Dewan.
More than 350 of the city's brightest young researchers gathered at Western Schmeichel Building for Entrepreneurship and Innovation, anxious to display and discuss their work.
We're trying to reduce the number of e-scooter injuries seen in pediatric emergency department.
Second-year Western medical student Nikita Berman is part of a team of 11 researchers, including 2 pediatric emergency room physicians, analyzing the health impacts of kids using e-scooters and e-bikes, with the goal of changing attitudes and possibly helping shape new policies.
What we understood through our root cause analysis is that a lot of families believe that they perceive e-scooters as being toys and not vehicles, which is what they are. And so unfortunately, they will give their e-scooter to children during Christmas or during their birthday, and we found that the first injury likely happens in the first 5 kilometers of riding.
One of the fastest growing industries is wearables for health and fitness. It's an interest of Rimsha Malik, a first-year master's student in biomedical engineering at Western. She's looking to design a wearable with a more specific aim.
The future of this device that I'm working on, the hopeful outcome would be being used as like a skin-mounted rehab patch that would help for at-home physiotherapy or recovery tracking after an operation.
Professor Nika Borodel led the organizing team for Health Research Day.
These days are an opportunity to really share and to cross-pollinate ideas, because that happens best in an environment where people are working on different things.
Borodel feels it's important to highlight the cutting-edge science being supported by the city's hospitals and academic institutes.
There's this excitement and nervousness all at the same time, and I think, I remember feeling that as a trainee coming to events like this, and I think it's just a fantastic day for them to share what they do.
London Research Day also included professional workshops and trainee presentations. Jerry Dewan, CTV News.
London could ban electric kick scooters on public roads and pathways next month, or extend a pilot project with stricter rules, holding parents accountable for underage riders. With more, here's Daryl Newcomb.
What I'm still hearing a lot about is children under the age of 16.
Councillor Corinne Rahman glad council took 5 months to gather feedback about e-scooters before London decides whether to ban their use on public property or extend participation in a provincial pilot program until November 2029. Community input sessions were held earlier this year where public sentiment was split.
We heard clearly is that there's support for e-scooters, but there's also some concerns, and that's exactly what we wanted to get some feedback on.
Currently, London requires riders to be at least 16 years old, wear a helmet if they're 16 or 17 years old, travel at less than 24 kilometers per hour, and travel streets with a speed limit at or below 50 kilometers per hour. But last November, the future of e-scooters was put in doubt when several councillors said they've received numerous complaints about rule violations and dangerous behavior.
They're putting themselves and they're putting others in danger, and that's where I struggle with giving any further extension to this.
Last year in London, there were 8 reported collisions involving e-scooters, and emergency departments reported 193 injuries, including 34 that required hospital stays. According to the report, because there are still relatively few e-scooters in London, police and municipal compliance have yet to launch any sort of proactive enforcement, at least yet. City staff recommend London remain in the provincial program, but with an enhanced bylaw and penalties. The changes would include that parents would be fined for failing to ensure their child under the age of 16 isn't riding an e-scooter on municipal property.
What I'm really pleased to see in the report is that we're going to have some bylaw changes, and having some fines that would be to parents.
Rahman believes the ultimate solution lies in province-wide regulations that could potentially include licensing e-scooters and requiring insurance.
The province needs to come in and create an Ontario-wide plan with e-scooters.
London's Infrastructure and Corporate Services Committee will consider either banning e-scooters or extending the pilot project on May 6th. Daryl Newcomb, CTV News.
There's concern among business owners in Exeter with a multi-year, multi-million-dollar construction project getting back underway. They say during phase 1 of construction, they saw double-digit revenue losses. With more, here's Scott Miller.
The huge pile of dirt sitting in the middle of Exeter's main street is today's reminder that Highway 4 through Exeter will be under construction yet again this summer.
We are under construction, so this is now sort of the second year. Our first year of construction was back in 2024, and now we're doing sort of phase 2. And next year we're going to be going into phase 3. So a lot of disruption along Main Street here in Exeter.
60-year-old water and sewer pipes need to be replaced under Exeter's main street. This summer will be phase 2 of what South Huron Mayor George Finch believes will be a 6-phase project, slowly working its way from the north end of Exeter to the south end over the coming years.
Between the province and ourselves, each section costs between $6 and $7 million or so to do. It's very expensive.
This week's work involves the closure of the main bridge connecting the north and south ends of Exeter, a headache that should be completed by Friday. During 2024's construction, Hill says Exeter's North End businesses saw revenue drop 20 to 30%, while the rest of town saw an 8 to 10% drop in customers.
When we have construction impacts like this, unlike in the cities, we aren't able to recuperate as quickly because it does take a couple of summers. So back-to-back construction is definitely a worry for many of our business owners. And the BIA is really hoping to be a part of that planning, especially for the next phase, so that we can work on some of that construction mitigation and impacts to our businesses.
Mayor Finch says he doesn't like the construction disruption either, but it is a necessary evil that simply has to happen.
If you don't replace them, they collapse, they fail. You end up with sinkholes, you end up with explosions where the pipes burst, and then you have unsafe drinking water. It just becomes catastrophic. So due diligence, good due diligence, is to fix it before it breaks. And we know we're on borrowed time with it, so let's get it done and do it right.
Phase 2 of Exeter's Main Street construction stretches from the Osable River Bridge to Victoria Street and should be complete by October. Phase 3 will begin next spring from Victoria Street to Sanders Street. The timing of phases 4 through 6 through Exeter's downtown to the southern edge of the community will depend on the availability of provincial funding, according to Mayor Finch. In Exeter, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Local astronaut Jeremy Hansen and his Artemis 2 crewmates were at the White House today celebrating their historic moon mission.
They're very brave, and there was a lot of rocket under them. I never saw anything like that. We were talking about it. It's I don't know how they do it. I wouldn't want to do it, but it takes people like this to make our country great. And again, I've never seen anything. Everybody I knew, they wanted to see the launch, and they especially wanted to see a successful landing.
The president invited the crew during a long-distance conversation while they were on their way back to Earth. Hansen became the first ever non-American to leave low Earth orbit, and the entire crew set a record for traveling farther from Earth than any other humans before them. They splashed down back in the Pacific Ocean earlier this month at the end of their successful 10-day mission. Later on CTV News, made to order, autonomously prepared, the London tech company and the future of food prep. Canada's main stock index was down despite strength in the energy sector. The TSX lost 266 points. In New York, the Dow dropped 280. The Nasdaq gained 9. The Canadian dollar fell a modest 0.02 of a cent. On commodity markets, gold is down almost $47 an ounce. Oil is up nearly $7 a barrel. The Bank of Canada held its key interest rate steady today at 2.25%. Officials with the central bank say they expect the country's economy to grow at a moderate pace, adjusting to ongoing U.S. tariffs. They also warn about increasing inflation because of higher oil prices. However, they say they expect inflation to ease back to their 2% target sometime next year. The federal Conservative leader says the government's economic update yesterday is too vague and doesn't do enough for Canadian affordability. Mike LeCouture has more on the lack of specifics in the so-called mini-budget.
I know I'll speak slowly for the Liberal mathematicians on the other side of the House because
Conservative criticism of the spring economic update continued to focus on government spending.
More cost, more debt, more taxes, more on the national credit card, and more interest payments for Canadians.
The Prime Minister defended his plan and the government's programs.
We're building the country strong for all, including Canada's youth, the biggest investment in apprenticeships in our history.
While the economic update did detail the $5.9 billion training program, it was lacking when it came to the $25 billion sovereign wealth fund and where that money will come from. The spring update did mention unlocking the value of airports. In Montreal, the finance minister did not rule out their privatization.
There might be different type of ownership that might be providing better value for money for Canadians, because after all, it's their assets.
Information about Canada's military spending was also absent from the economic statement. Last month, Canada announced it hit the NATO target of spending 2% of GDP on defense. And Carney has committed this country to a new spending pledge of 5% by the year 2035.
We've got a 10 years to get to 5%. We're only in year one, and we're moving very quickly. We've got an extra $82 billion to spend over the next 5 years. And we're going to review the spend in 2029, as are all NATO countries.
They had to put in a huge amount of money overall anyway, but that amount is getting bigger if we can keep in pace with the growth in the Canadian economy.
The Secretary of State for Defense Procurement also points out the government wants to scale up domestic military production, believing it could create more jobs in this country. Mike LeCouture, CTV News, Ottawa.
Good evening. Mainly cloudy conditions will break up heading into tomorrow morning. We do have some sunshine in the forecast. Thank you so much, Beverly, for sending this photo in of Ginger. If you are heading out in the morning for a walk with Ginger, the temperature hovering between 3 and 4 degrees first thing in the morning. Coming up, I'll take you through the forecast. Temperatures are set to be cool through the rest of the week, but by Sunday, we'll start to see things return to normal. I'll have your local forecast details coming up on the other side of the break.
Welcome back on the desk with Julie now, and things transition to a bit of a cooler stretch now that we're seeing kind of through the rest of this week. On the other side, though, back to those nice spring temperatures. I'm looking forward to that, but we got to get through this next couple days first.
Yes, temperatures on the very cold side, averaging a good 5 to 8 degrees below where we should be for this time of year. Today felt cooler, though, than 11 degrees. That northwest wind, quite cool, and on and off showers today. The main rain moved through early in the day, Carlyle, but we still had some scattered light showers showers through the evening. High and low temperature coming in at around 9 and 11 degrees. So an area of low pressure moving by to the south, that brought the rainfall earlier. It's now moved well off, taking that rainfall to the east. We still have a few showers, as you can see, in and around Michigan, but overnight for us, things will just be mainly cloudy. Now, as we head into the day tomorrow, expecting a mix of sun and cloud. So some sunshine, but we'll have passing showers. So the upper air pattern will play the main player, rather, in our forecast. What's going to happen is we have this cold air that is just going to be spinning back through the Great Lakes and generating showers at the surface. So it'll be one of those days where we'll see a nice mix of sun and cloud, and then all of a sudden we'll have a little bit of rainfall. Then an hour later, we're back to a mix of sun and cloud, and that's our weather story Thursday and Friday. So passing spotty showers. Cold conditions expected as well, which could impact vegetation. So the growing season has already started, and we will have some temperatures that will be dropping below freezing in the coming days. So some areas in southern Ontario overnight tonight, even dropping to freezing in and around Barrie. But where we could see things get tricky will be Friday into Saturday, where overnight lows are expected to drop between about -3 and -5. So the forecast as we head into Friday as well, still the chance for showers. You can see a bit of mixed precipitation. That's flakes of snow as we head toward Grey County. Likely at the surface, it'll just come down as rain, but the temperatures at night are going to be quite cold. 3 degrees in London overnight, Midwestern Ontario anywhere from 0 to +1, and along the shoreline of Erie and Huron, 3 to 4 degrees. So a mix of sun and cloud through the day across the region tomorrow. Probability a bit higher towards Sarnia, Chatham, and western Elgin County. You'll likely see more of a steady shower through the morning, and then a break back into a mix of sun and cloud. In London, a mix of sun and cloud, a few showers around mid-morning, and then heading into the afternoon, the possibility of a passing shower, although the probability is low. So again, the reason is it's the cold air in the upper atmosphere that's generating these scattered showers at the surface. On Friday, back into a mix of sun and cloud, the temperature drops to 9, but it's these overnight lows, -3 to -5. So waking up Friday morning below freezing, frosty conditions, and then heading into Saturday. So Saturday could be more of a freeze. 8 degrees as we head into Saturday afternoon. Sunday, a 40% chance of showers. A daytime high recovers. We're back up to where we should be for this time of year at 16, and then the chance for rain as we head into Monday. But temperatures much improved, so we're going to break out of the cold stuff and get back into some temperatures where we'd like to be as we head into May. Midwestern Ontario, your forecast, a mix of sun and cloud tomorrow. Again, slight chance for a passing shower, and then a mix of sun and cloud Friday. Saturday looks beautiful but cold at 6 degrees. You need your jackets for this kind of weather. I know I've put away my winter jackets, and I'm not breaking them back out, so I'm just going to suffer through. Chance for showers as we head into your Monday. Daytime highs recover. We're back into the double digits. But again, keeping an eye on this. Now, frost is still possible this time of year. We haven't had a frost event generally 3 to 7 years where we see these cycles. So in terms of frosty conditions, it's not unheard of. However, not what we like to see, that's for sure, Carlyle. So we will recover as we head into early next week with a chance of showers and some milder air returning. Back to you.
Thanks, Julie. The NFL took over Joe Cool's this past weekend, led by the Cincinnati Bengals, hosting draft day festivities. Brent Lail has more on the team's ties to London and efforts to strengthen them.
I'm here at Joe Cool's with the 128th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. The Cincinnati Bengals select Connor Lew, center.
At a Cincinnati Bengals draft party, South Secondary teacher Mike Stenning announces their 4th-round pick.
It's pretty awesome. And, you know, the fact that I played center and I got to, read the center's name out, it means a lot.
The Richmond Row Bar was packed with Bengals and London football fans as the NFL came to the Forest City. They handed out swag in the hometown of Bengals star running back Chase Brown.
A lot of it had to do with us getting the global market rights in Canada to start. Naturally, Chase Brown being our starting running back, it only made sense to start in his hometown of London. We made a connection with Joe Cool's last year. We got the South Lions, who Chase used to play for here. So it's very exciting. Love to see that we have Bengals fans everywhere.
When I was a child, my dad was a big Kenny Anderson fan. We became Bengals fans. They got season's tickets back in 1989. I never thought I'd see the day where the Bengals came to London, Ontario to celebrate.
Among those in attendance was Darren Isaac, Chase's father.
It's great for the kids. It's great for the community. Obviously, Chase and Sydney, they've come back, given back. I was never a Bengals fan until Chase was there, right? So now he's there. He's doing really well, training hard, and looking forward for this season.
This is one of the biggest things come to Joe Cool's ever, and super glad with the turnout, and London turned up big to show the NFL what we got.
Stenning will remember this day forever and even got to keep the souvenir.
I got the draft card, I got the name. I think, Connor and I will be forever connected in his NFL journey.
Brent Lale, CTV News.
Welcome back. Finally tonight, a London company using robotics bringing hot meals to new places. With more on the autonomous preparation operation, here's Lauren Stallone.
Appatronics, an automation company in London, Ontario, is using AI-driven dispensing technology to create the ultimate comfort food.
What we have behind us is fully autonomous robotic pizza making machine.
The first of its kind, this unique machine is designed to bring freshly made food to places where it is not always available.
We can drop this into a university, we could drop it into an office tower, and we provide food, in that sort of environment.
While one machine is housed here at a warehouse in London, the first customer-facing unit is located at John Glenn Columbus International Airport.
Passengers coming through the airport staff, they can come up, order their pizza, then they can watch it being made, and then they just go around the corner here to the lockers. And if on their phone, they'll get a text message. They'll come back. It'll give them a QR code and a 4-digit code that they can enter in. Once they enter that in, locker door opens up, and they can grab their pizza.
Once customers choose between pepperoni or cheese, the pizzas take approximately 6.5 minutes to make. They come out sliced and ready to enjoy. Engineers on the project say the process to create a self-operating machine is extensive.
It starts with an idea. We'll CAD it, we'll bring it to life, and then we'll scrap it and we'll entirely redo it. Then we CAD it and bring that to life. It's a long process, lots of iterations.
Appatronics announced today they have acquired Subotica, a Vancouver-based food robotics company, adding more technology to help make a wider variety of meals.
We are working on a Mexican bowl type cuisine. Lots of work to be done, but it's really exciting.
Lauren Stallone, CTV News.
That's good.
That's it for us. Thanks for watching. For all of us at CTV News London, I'm Carlyle Fiset. Have a good night.